If you would, turn with me to Mark chapter 4, verse 35. So today we're going to be looking at a story, and it's Jesus, the disciples, and a storm.
Vamos a ver a una historia sobre Jesús, los discípulos y una tormenta.
Now, if you have been around church for any time in your life, then you have probably heard this story or seen a picture depicting this story.
Si ha estado en una iglesia, es probable que haya escuchado esta historia o
In the early church would draw or paint that would depict what Jesus did.
era una historia muy popular para que los artistas de la iglesia primitiva pintaran.
And so let's read it together, starting in verse 35, and it says this: On that day, when evening had come, he told them, "Let's cross over to the other side of the sea." So they left the crowd and took him along, since he was in the boat, and other boats were with him. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking over the boat, so that the boat was already being swamped. And he was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. And so they woke him up and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care that we're going to die?"
Marcos 4, 35 al 38. Aquel día, cuando llegó la noche, les dijo, pasemos al otro lado, y despidiendo a la multitud, le tomaron como estaba, en la barca, y había también con él otras barcas, pero se levantó una gran tempestad de viento y echaba las olas en la barca, de tal manera que ya se anegaba, y él estaba en la popa, durmiendo sobre un cabezal, y le despertaron y le dijeron, Maestro, ¿no tienes cuidado que perecemos?
So he got up and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Silence, be still." And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. And then he said to them, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" And they were terrified and asked one another, "Who then is this? Even the wind and the sea obey him."
Y levantándose reprendió al viento y dijo al mar, Calla, enmudece. Y cesó el viento y se hizo grande bonanza. Y les dijo, ¿por qué estáis así amedrentados? ¿Por qué no tenéis fe? Entonces temieron con gran temor y se decían el uno al otro, ¿quién es este que aún el viento y el mar le obedecen?
And so often when we read this story, the main point, the thing that jumps out at us is that Jesus calmed the storm, and we usually say this, and Jesus can calm the storms of your life too.
A menudo cuando miramos esta historia, la parte que nos llama la atención es que Jesús calmó la tormenta y Él también puede calmar las tormentas de tu vida.
And this is a true statement, you guys.
Esta afirmación es verdadera.
But I think at the heart of this story, the truth that we really need to hold on to is one that makes a much greater impact in our life.
Pero creo que en el centro de esta historia hay una verdad que tiene un impacto mucho mayor en nuestra vida.
And so I want us to walk through this story this morning and see what the Spirit says to us.
Repasemos esta historia para mirarlo.
Notice this, that the disciples didn't cause the storm. It wasn't their disobedience or some great sin in their life that caused it.
Note que los discípulos no causaron la tormenta por desobediencia o pecado.
Actually, it was Jesus who suggested that they jump in the boat and they go across the sea.
En realidad Jesús fue quien sugirió que cruzaran en el mar.
And the same's true in our life often.
Lo mismo puede aplicarse a nuestra vida.
We can look at the storms that we go through in life, the difficulties that we have, and there's no great disobedience, there's no great sin that's in our life, but it's just the way that life is, and we get to this place where we struggle to even make sense of why am I going through this, Lord?
Algunas tormentas son provocadas por las consecuencias de nuestro pecado, pero muchas tormentas simplemente ocurren y encontrarle sentido a todo no siempre es muy fácil, si es que lo es.
And you can bet that the storm caught the disciples off guard, but if you notice, Jesus was not caught off guard.
Puedes apostar que esta tormenta tomó a los discípulos desprevenidos, pero no a Jesús.
So if you can picture this, all right? So here the disciples are. The water is coming up over the boat. They're panicking. They're freaking out. They're probably trying to build water as fast as they can. And what do we see Jesus doing?
Entonces, mientras el viento sopla y las olas rompen en el barco, los discípulos probablemente entran en pánico para checar el agua. ¿Qué está haciendo Jesús?
He's in the back of the boat, sleeping. And then Mark adds this extra detail. He says, on a cushion.
Durmiendo en la parte trasera del barco, y Marcos incluso agrega más detalles, sobre un cojín.
It's like Jesus is living in luxury while the disciples are freaking out.
Es como si Jesús estuviera viviendo en lujo mientras los discípulos se asustan.
You see, it didn't catch Jesus off guard. He wasn't stressed out about anything.
Verás, esto no tomó a Jesús desprevenido y no estaba estresado.
And think about this. All the things that the disciples knew about Jesus, all of the things that he had been teaching them.
Piensa en todo lo que los discípulos sabían sobre Jesús y lo que les enseñó.
I mean, they had watched him heal sick people. They saw him make a man who was paralyzed walk. He had cast out demons. He had done all of these things right in front of them.
Los discípulos habían visto a Jesús sanar a los enfermos, hacer que los hombres volvieran a caminar, expulsar demonios y perdonar a las personas sus pecados.
And he had been teaching them with this power and authority that was changing the way that they thought.
Él había enseñado con poder y autoridad en sus vidas.
I mean, they had left everything that they owned and everybody that they knew in order to follow Jesus because they believed that he was the Son of God, that he was the Messiah, the one who came to save them.
Había dejado todo para seguirlo, creyendo que Él es el Hijo de Dios, el Mesías.
Yet, in the storm, they couldn't take their eyes off the danger that lied ahead.
Sin embargo, en la tormenta no podían apartar la vista del peligro.
You see, they saw Jesus sleeping and they just believed he didn't care.
Vieron a Jesús durmiendo y se dejaron llevar por el miedo, creyendo que a Jesús no les importaba si morían.
And in a moment's notice, here's what we see happen. The storm competed with their faith in Jesus and they let the fear overcome them.
En un momento la tormenta compitió con su fe en Jesús y ellos dejaron que el miedo los venciera.
Ironically, the same Jesus that they're saying, do you care, is the one who is going to go to the cross and die for their sins not long after this story.
Irónicamente, le preguntaron a Jesús si le importaba si morían, ya que Jesús iría a la cruz y moriría por ellos en breve para que pudieran vivir por la eternidad con Él.
But all of the care that Jesus had shown them up until that point was wiped away because of their fear.
Todo el cuidado que Jesús les había mostrado fue borrado por el miedo.
He had been teaching them to walk by faith or to live by faith in him.
Él les había estado enseñando a creer por fe.
They spent every day with him. Can you imagine how many times during the day Jesus had looked at them and said, just walk by faith in me, you guys?
No puedo imaginar cuántas veces al día Jesús les había dicho, caminen por fe en mí.
Yet when the storm got rough, when life became difficult, they took their eyes off of Jesus. They forgot everything that they knew about him, and their faith waned.
Y sin embargo, cuando la tormenta fue demasiado fuerte, perdieron de vista a Jesús y quién se había mostrado ser.
And instead of faith in Jesus, you could feel their frustration mounting when they said those simple words.
En lugar de fe en Jesús, puedes sentir que su frustración aumentaba y se desbordó con algunas palabras simples.
Do you even care about us, Jesus?
¿Acaso te preocupas por nosotros, Jesús?
Now, before we're too harsh on the disciples, we can put ourselves in this story pretty quickly.
Ahora bien, no juzguemos a los discípulos con demasiada dureza, porque cuando la presión de la vida se hace demasiado fuerte,
And as the squeeze of life grows strong, or maybe the winds and the water begin to overwhelm us and we're treading water, we can see ourselves just like them.
o los vientos y el agua comienzan a abrumarnos y estamos a punto de estancarnos,
On this side, Jesus has proven himself to be faithful over and over in our lives. Amen?
Jesús ha demostrado su valía una y otra vez en nuestras vidas. Amén.
Yet in those moments where the storm seems so hard, I don't know about you, but it's easy for me to find myself saying, Jesus, do you see this?
Sin embargo, en esos momentos nuestra fe da paso a la frustración y al pánico. Y sé que suelo decir algo como, Jesús, ¿estás viendo esto?
Now, we see here the huge blessing of this story is we see that the storm was calm, the seas were calmed.
Vemos aquí que Jesús calmó la tormenta, pero ese no es el punto principal de esto.
That's not the main point. What we see happen after this is where we get there. Jesus asks a really dumb question. He looks at them and he says, "Why are you afraid?"
Entonces Jesús hace una pregunta que parece un poco tonta. ¿Por qué tienes miedo?
Now, this word, I learned this week that the Greek has like so many words for afraid, all right? So this particular Greek word for afraid is the kind of cowardice fear that we find ourselves having sometimes.
Esta palabra miedo en griego es la palabra para miedo cobarde y también lo que asociamos con la palabra miedo.
And this is that type of fear that you get when something terrifies you, or maybe there's something that scares you, or it endangers our lives.
Este es el miedo que nos domina cuando nos enfrentamos a algo que nos aterroriza, nos asusta o nos pone en peligro.
Now, in the world, none of us would say that a hurricane force wind is something that we shouldn't fear, but Jesus is talking about this in the midst of their faith.
Ahora bien, el mundo no llamaría cobarde a los vientos y olas huracanadas, pero Jesús usa esto a la luz de su fe.
And this is helping us get to the main point, so we're almost there.
Esto nos ayuda a llegar al punto principal.
But it's not faith in something that matters at this point, it's faith in Jesus.
Pero en este momento no es la fe en algo lo que importa, sino la fe en Jesús.
You see, by this point, everything that he had taught them, everything that they had seen in Jesus, everything that they knew about Jesus had led them to put their faith in him.
En este momento, todo lo que sabían acerca de Jesús y lo que habían visto los llevó a poner su fe en Jesús.
And for many of us today, that's where we sit too.
Pero muchos de ustedes hoy, esa es la situación en la que se encuentran también.
You have put your faith in Jesus, and he is now growing and strengthening your faith in you.
Has puesto su fe en Jesús y ahora Él está haciendo crecer y fortaleciendo su fe.
But in every storm of life, we must watch out and be careful that we don't allow the fear of the storms of life to take our eyes off our faith in Jesus.
En cada tormenta de la vida no debemos permitir que nuestro miedo a la tormenta nos haga perder de vista a Jesús y su carácter inmutable y su fidelidad.
Because every storm of life is an opportunity for Jesus to show you more of who he is.
Porque cada tormenta de la vida es una oportunidad para que Jesús te muestre más quién es Él.
You see, storms of life, they strengthen our faith when we do not allow them to steal our focus from having our faith in Jesus and who he is.
Las tormentas fortalecen nuestra fe cuando mantenemos nuestra mirada en Jesús y quién es Él.
Now, if you notice the last verse of this one, in verse 41, in the New American Standard Version, this is how it's written. They became very much afraid.
Fíjese en el último versículo, la nueva versión estándar americana lo dice así: se llenaron de miedo.
And what it's saying here is they became more afraid.
Nos está diciendo que se llenaron de miedo.
But the storm was calm, like the seas were calm. So what were they afraid of?
La tormenta se había calmado, así que ¿de qué tenían miedo?
Jesus' power and authority over the storm.
El poder y la autoridad de Jesús sobre la tormenta.
I mean, think about this. Jesus exercised his power and authority over the storm, and immediately the winds died down, the seas were calm, and it was completely gone.
Jesús ejerció su poder y autoridad sobre el viento y el mar, e inmediatamente todo quedó en calma.
Now, some of the disciples were fishermen, and the rest of them lived right next to the sea, so they knew how dangerous the sea could be in a storm.
Algunos de los discípulos eran pescadores, pero todos vivían junto al mar y sabían lo brutal que podía ser el mar.
And they knew this, that a storm doesn't just stop and calm down immediately.
Sabían que una tormenta como esa no se detiene así como así.
And what we see happen is that in Jesus' authority, all he had to do was speak, and this storm immediately calmed down. And what it was saying is they were growing more afraid because of his power and authority.
Sin embargo, al oír la orden de Jesús, hizo exactamente eso, y el hecho de que Jesús tuviera esa autoridad hizo que tuvieran más miedo.
But this word, remember I said there's a lot of words for it. This isn't the same afraid that was the cowardice fear that overtook them because of the storm.
Pero esta palabra miedo no es el miedo cobarde que los invadió debido a la tormenta.
This word is the word for afraid that we get the word phobia from. And what this is, it's a life-altering alarm, something that you stand in awe of.
Esta palabra para miedo es de donde obtenemos la palabra fobia y es una alarma que da forma a la vida, significa tener algo en asombro.
You see, what we see they were doing is they grew in their reverence, awe, and wonder of Jesus and who he was.
Crecieron en su reverencia, asombro y maravilla por Jesús y quién era Él.
This is what the Bible means when it says that we are to fear the Lord.
Esto es lo que quiere decir la Biblia cuando afirma que debemos temer al Señor.
Now listen to this, Psalm 34:9. You who are his holy ones, fear the Lord. For those who fear him lack nothing.
Salmos 34:9. Temed a Jehová vosotros sus santos, pues nada falta a los que le temen.
Now, this phrase, lack of nothing, that's a promise from God. And what this shows us is that fearing the Lord, standing in awe of him, is a positive thing in our life, not a negative thing like the fear of the storm the disciples felt.
La promesa de no faltar nada nos muestra que temer al Señor, admirarlo, es algo positivo que cambia nuestra vida, lo opuesto a temerle a una tormenta.
This is what Jesus wants to teach us in the storms of life.
Esto es lo que Jesús quiere enseñarnos en las tormentas de nuestra vida.
Guys, this is the type of fear that makes us fall to our knees in awe of who Jesus is.
Es un temor que nos hace caer de rodillas en admiración por quién es Jesús.
It's seeing the storms of life and realizing that we are good because Jesus is greater.
Es ver la tormenta y darnos cuenta de que sin importar el resultado estoy bien porque Jesús es más grande.
Remember, just a few, not even a chapter ago, we read the parable of the strong man. Remember that one?
¿Recuerda la parábola del hombre fuerte del otro día?
Jesus is the one that is invading the strong man's house, the strong man being Satan, and he ties him up because, why? Jesus is stronger.
Jesús es el que invade la casa del hombre fuerte, Satanás, y lo ata porque Jesús es más fuerte.
And he subdues or ties up the enemy, and guess what? And he takes us as his plunder or his treasure from doing that.
Él somete al enemigo y nosotros somos su botín, su tesoro.
You see, we have to trust that Jesus died and rose again, defeating death once and for all.
Tenemos que confiar en que si Jesús murió y resucitó, venciendo la muerte de una vez por todas,
And that in doing that, he secured salvation and adoption into the family of God for anyone who believes in Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior.
asegurando la salvación y la vida eterna en la familia de Dios para todo aquel que por fe crea y reciba su regalo de salvación.
And when we stand on that truth that the strong man, Jesus, has done this, then there is no storm in life that Jesus is not more powerful than.
Entonces no hay tormenta en mi vida más poderosa que Jesús.
I mean, think about it. He has the power over what? Authority and over nature.
Y Él tiene el poder y la autoridad para ver que esa tormenta pase de la manera que Él quiere.
And he showed the care that he has for all things that he created.
Él tiene poder y autoridad sobre la naturaleza.
In Matthew 6:26, he says this. He says, consider the birds of the sky. They don't sow or reap or gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Aren't you worth more than they?
Mateo 6:26. Mirad las aves del cielo que no siembran ni ciegan ni recogen en graneros, y vuestro Padre celestial las alimenta. ¿No valéis vosotros mucho más que ellas?
We are his. And his care for us, his love for us is worth more than anything else, and it is far greater than anything we can imagine.
Somos suyos, y su cuidado por vosotros es más de lo que podemos imaginar, porque valemos más para Él que cualquier otra cosa.
You see, Jesus exercising his authority over the storms that day for the disciples showed his great care for them and for us. But what we got to see on full display in this was Jesus in all of his power and authority showing us who he is.
Al ejercer su poder y autoridad ese día, Jesús mostró su gran amor y cuidado para su pueblo. Pero vemos aún más la plenitud de Jesús en exhibición y debemos admirarlo.
You see, Jesus showed himself to the disciples in a new way so that their faith grew in him as they stood and watched what he did.
Jesús se mostró a los discípulos de una manera nueva para que su fe creciera mientras los miraban.
Guys, it isn't about the storms of life.
No se trata de la tormenta de la vida.
It is about Jesus and us standing in awe of his power and authority in our life.
Se trata de Jesús y de que nosotros nos asombremos de quién es Él con todo su poder y autoridad.
The strong man who overcame everything and overpowered everything so that we in his death and resurrection could have eternal life.
El hombre fuerte que por su muerte y resurrección nos hizo su tesoro.
And trusting that he cares for us in ways we can never imagine.
Confiando en que Él se preocupa por nosotros más de lo que jamás podemos comprender.
Guys, nowhere are we promised that the storms will calm the way that we want them to.
En ningún lado se nos promete que la tormenta se calmará de la manera que deseamos.
Nowhere are we promised that if we love Jesus more, the storms will go away.
En ningún lado se nos promete que las tormentas disminuirán si amamos más a Jesús.
Nowhere can we see that it tells us we can avoid the storms of life.
En ningún lado vemos que podemos evitar las tormentas.
Yes, Jesus can calm any storm,
Sí, Jesús puede calmar la tormenta,
but it may not be in our timing or the way we want it to be calmed.
pero puede que no lo haga en nuestro tiempo o de la manera que deseamos.
You see, naturally, we as humans, we like to focus on how to get rid of the storm.
Naturalmente nos gusta pensar en el resultado de la tormenta,
But our focus should be fearing the Lord and our faith in him and trusting that he is greater.
Nuestro enfoque debe estar en temer al Señor y nuestra fe en Él, confiando en que Él es más grande.
Now, there's this part of April and I's life that I don't share about very often because there's still a lot of emotions when I talk about it. I told him I would cry before I started, so.
Hay una parte de la vida de April y la mía que no comparto muy a menudo porque incluso hoy trae muchas emociones.
But in it, here's what I want you to understand. Who God is and his faithfulness shines brighter than anything else that's happened in my life.
Pero en ella, quién es Dios y su fidelidad brillan con fuerza.
22 years ago when we were married, we naturally had those conversations and we knew that God wanted us to have a family and we saw that we would have a household full of children.
Cuando nos casamos sabíamos que Dios quería que tuviéramos una familia y siempre hablamos de una casa llena de niños.
Shortly after our marriage, after our wedding, April got pregnant, and that was our first of 4 miscarriages that we had.
Poco después de casarnos, April quedó embarazada y ese fue el primero de 4 abortos espontáneos que tuvimos.
And I can still, if I close my eyes, I can remember the nights that I had just crying out to God.
Todavía recuerdo las noches que pasé clamando a Dios,
Crying out for April and for the pain that I knew she was feeling, which was far greater than me.
clamando por April y el dolor en su vida,
Crying out for the emptiness that was in our life because kids didn't fill our house.
clamando por el vacío en mi vida,
Frustration with God, saying why and how could you be doing this to us?
frustración con Dios de por qué y cómo pudo hacernos esto.
Many, many prayers during those 4 pregnancies of just saying, Lord, please save our child.
Por favor, salva a nuestro hijo, Señor, clamaba.
But I look back now and I can tell you that it was through those times that God began to strengthen our faith in ways I can't even imagine.
Pero ahora miro hacia atrás y fue durante ese tiempo que nuestra fe se fortaleció.
Painful, grief-filled, and times where the storms of life clouded my faith in Jesus.
Doloroso, lleno de dolor y a veces la tormenta nubló mi fe.
And so we made the decision that it was probably time for us to consider adoption. And so we went to an orientation so that we could go get licensed to adopt.
Tomamos la decisión de que la adopción podría ser el camino, así que fuimos a una orientación para obtener la licencia para adoptar.
And so we got finished with the orientation, we got into the car, and April looks at me and she's like, well, what are you thinking?
Terminamos la orientación, nos subimos al carro y April le dijo, bueno, ¿qué te parece?
And I knew the safe thing to do at that point in our life was to adopt, but God in His Spirit said, just try one more time.
Sabía que lo más seguro era adoptar, pero en mi corazón Dios me dijo que lo intentara una vez más.
And so I looked at April doing one of the hardest things a husband can do, and I said, well, God asked me if we would try one more time, so I'm asking you, can we try one more time? And I know what that means for both of us.
Y entonces dije, que sé que es pedir mucho de ti y de nosotros, pero Dios me dijo que lo intentara una vez más.
And so April trusted God deeply, and she loved me, and so she looked at me, and she said, yes, let's do it.
April tenía una profunda confianza en Dios y me amaba, así que fuimos a ver a un nuevo médico que pensábamos que descubriría por qué todos los abortos espontáneos.
And so we went to this new doctor who we thought would help us to figure out why we're having the miscarriages. And the first visit came, and he invited us into his office, and he had candles lit, and the lights were down, and there was worship music playing.
Llegó la primera visita, nos invitó a su consultorio, encendió velas y puso música de adoración.
It was a little weird, all right? I'm not going to lie. But he looked at us and he said, guys, I can't promise you a baby, but I know the one who can.
Era un poco raro, pero dijo que no podía prometer un bebé, pero que conocía a alguien que sí podía hacerlo.
And so Dr. Sawyer prayed for us, and he stood with us as we asked God to hear our request.
El doctor Sawyer oró por nosotros y estuvo con nosotros ante Dios.
And so we get pregnant again, and this pregnancy has now progressed further than we have ever progressed.
El embarazo avanzó más de lo que nunca hubiéramos avanzado.
We finally told everybody, and we got excited about it.
Finalmente se lo contamos a todos y nos emocionamos.
And then 19 weeks came, and you hear the words you never want to hear. And they said, I'm sorry, but your son, that's the day we found out we were having a boy, is never going to survive.
Luego a las 19 semanas nos dijeron que su bebé no sobreviviría.
So we made it to 26 weeks. We found out that he was coming any day. They were measuring him in grams at that point in time because they said he is severely growth deferred, and they had very much uncertainty about the problems that he would face and whether he would even survive the birth.
Llegamos a las 26 semanas y nos enteramos de que vendría pronto y que tenía un retraso grave del crecimiento y la incertidumbre de qué problemas podría enfrentar o si sobreviviría.
And on February 24th, 2006, Andrew was born at 1 pound 14 ounces.
En febrero de 2006, Andrew nació con un peso de 1 libra y 14 onzas.
And doctors who didn't believe in God, they were blown away that he even was breathing when he came out.
Los médicos que no creían en Dios no podían creerlo.
Through Jesus, he defeated all odds.
A través de Jesús, Él venció todos los pronósticos.
But that isn't the end of the story. And because we knew that God had more kids for us.
Pero ese no es el final de la historia, ya que sabíamos que Dios tenía más hijos para nosotros.
While we were pregnant with Andrew, DJ came into our life as I was pastoring in South Phoenix at our Other Bridge campus.
Mientras estaba embarazada de Andy, DJ llegó a nuestra vida mientras yo estaba pastoreando en el sur de Phoenix.
We didn't know at the time when we met him, but DJ would be Andrew's first brother and eventually our second son as we raised him with his mom, Miss Kathy, together.
No lo sabíamos, pero él se convertiría en el primer hermano de Andrew y con el tiempo en nuestro hijo al que criáramos con su madre, la señorita Kathy.
And finally, in 2009, Jerome, he's over there, all right, was born. And 2 years later, he would join our family as we adopted him.
Y finalmente en 2009 nació Jerome y 2 años más tarde se uniría a nuestra familia a través de la adopción.
And today we have Melissa, our daughter-in-law, and our granddaughter, Nevaeh, and along with many other young people that God has put into our life that we got to partake with as they grew in their journey.
Hoy tenemos a Melissa, nuestra nuera, y a Navea, nuestra nieta, junto con muchos otros jóvenes a quienes hemos podido apoyar en su camino a lo largo de los años.
You see, the pain and the struggles of the storm of life, those that I faced during those beginning days, today are still tender in my heart. But through it all, I can tell you this, that I grew in my knowledge and understanding of who God is.
El dolor y las luchas de esta tormenta todavía son tiernos en mi corazón, pero a través de todo eso puedo decirles que crecí en mi conocimiento y comprensión de quién es Jesús.
My awe of him, through all of the pain, all of the trials, all of the difficulties we had in those early years, it grew because I saw that he was in control and that he had a plan that far exceeded any plan that I had for our family.
Mi admiración por Él, incluso en el dolor de una pérdida tan grande, aumentó porque nos vio a través de todo y sabía cómo iba a terminar todo.
See, there has to be this shift that happens in our minds where our fear of the Lord, where our standing in awe of who Jesus is grows so great that that is greater than any fear of any storm that comes our way is.
Tiene que haber un cambio en nuestra mente, donde nuestro temor al Señor, cuando nos asombramos de Él, crezca más que nuestro temor a las tormentas de la vida.
Look, guys, this is not diminishing the storms of life. I get it. Life is hard, and I know there's people in this room that have been through things, or maybe even going through things, that are far greater than anything I have experienced in my life.
Esto no disminuye nuestras tormentas, y sé que la vida es difícil, y muchos de ustedes están pasando por tormentas más grandes de lo que jamás podría imaginar.
What this passage is showing us is that there has to be this expanding and growing knowledge of who Jesus is, and putting our faith in him and trusting that he is greater than any of those storms that we face in life.
Lo que los discípulos aprendieron y nosotros debemos aprender es que nuestras tormentas en la vida son momentos en los que expandimos y agrandamos nuestro asombro por Jesús mientras lo vemos y ayudamos a superarlos como solo Él puede hacerlo.
Guys, we live in a broken world. We live in a broken world that is full of storms at every single turn of our life.
Vivimos en un mundo roto y herido, lleno de tormentas a cada paso.
Following Jesus does not make them go away,
Seguir a Jesús no hace que desaparezcan,
but Jesus is greater.
pero Jesús es más grande.
He cares for you.
Él se preocupa por ti.
You're his treasure, guys.
Tú eres su tesoro.
You see, here's what we need to allow God to do, to grow in us so that we can stand in awe of who Jesus is in our life.
Maravíllate y admira a Jesús hoy y deposita tus preocupaciones sobre Él.
We're going to move into